Welcome to my lovely IHP community and the 5D collective. We're going to start today with a bit on the lovely twin flame front because one, we have some channeled guidance audio on the audio podcast. Go check it out if you want. And it's mixed with food for thought. But two, this thing that I know some people, it's a real phenomenon. Yes, it's a real phenomenon. The difference is, remember, the divine feminines, we don't have saga. Thank you for that, because we are our inner child adults. And so when we meet our divine masculine and or masculines, we will know, and it will not be tragic. It will be full of lovely interactions, and mental and emotional mastery is what you get to embark on. This is what I shared with you. You also get to keep on embarking on believing in yourself as a human being. No superhero capes. The ones who are with the superhero capes, that's the 4D collective. So when people make this big deal out of any relationship, really is how I'm going to bring it to you, they don't own their 1 year old. And so what I have noticed with whether it's a twin flame coach and or the whole twin flame list, they don't know how to talk to people about their relationship status. And then they also don't know how to notice the grief, their nervous system. So when you meet Patrick Tiahan, great childhood trauma therapist, and he is a childhood trauma survivor who is healed. I always say also healing. He shares the will to heal is step one, so that people can disengage from having that grief of not being known by a parent and or by being not treated in a child-centric way, and so on and so forth. So you will be unseen, you will feel unheard, and you will not want to be seen. So as long as you lead with a core belief of shame and unlovability, you won't be that love and bliss or yourself. Okay, so the will to heal, though, and what those people who are out there doing the saga, the reason why some of them want to tell others that the new twin flame coaches are bad is because, one, they have competition. So it's very fascinating when a person who's a coach, I'm a content creator, also coach. I'm not afraid of competition because I'm here to help you. I'm not here to make myself the number one anything. I mean, already if I need to become number one, it tells me that I don't know who Maria is. I'm a member of the 5D collective, and Jesus, come in the door. God, come in the door. What am I? I'm a humble human being who has what? What do I have? I have flaws and imperfections. Yes, I do. Great. Awesome. So that's where being you, mindful and flawed with integrity. We're going to get to that lovely, bringing it all together in the past weeks. We've had our full moon, our eclipse. So the realization of the expansion of you with self-conscious and love and bliss. So self-conscious is going to be our next topic, because use your human name. I'm Maria. I'm a whole self. So my 1 year old isn't seeking to attach to a person. I have my primary caregiver, and I have a twin, and I have that thing called compersion, but I have that thing called open heart, open mind, thanks to Jesus and God. And then I got to move into mysticism. When I got the encounter of my first twin flame, all things rosy cheeky and different. Yes, we're different. That's how relationships work. You present each other conversations and you work it out. There's no stages, because the only people who have stages are, again, the ones who are doing this little push and pull, and they're seeking these approval buttons, which is meaning they're still grieving having not been seen from home. You see, that attachment system is very important. And so what I've noticed is that there are those who are looking for a herd to be a group of. And that's why the will to heal instead is what they could have. Go to the good childhood trauma therapist, EMDR, child parts work, somatics. You get to become what Terry Real calls, and Patrick Tiahan in a different way, you're grown up because you learn to love yourself. So with Patrick Tiahan, you learn to love yourself with a child-centric, trauma-based therapist and community. Terry Real is for couples who want to actually be couples that are grown human beings versus adaptive child parts, which are teenagers, which are on a trauma charge wheel. And so here's number one. Again, that 1 year old of you still lives within you. The 3 to 7, shame submissive. And those are the very same 8 years that you play out your unconscious, subconscious in all of those relationships. So if you really want to be spiritual or mindful, and I'm a 5D mystic, I'm both. And I've consistently been this. 5D is Christ consciousness because I said yes to Jesus and the Holy Spirit. Not to the fear mongering people. No, those people I know where they're at and what's going on. I'm, again, a mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. So I have clarity, which is why when you bring your inner child adult to the front, to the forefront and to life, but you never really lose it. I didn't lose mine. Thanks, Mom and Twin and all of the people, all my herd. Twin Flames, they just gave me the opportunity to keep being Maria, like my soulmates, the same exact way as when I got dumped at a certain point. I thought you would change. I was confused way back when. Be yourself. I made you the way I want, and then you start giving me different directives. Nope. So maintaining the whole inner child is because my 3-year-old was differentiated because I didn't have a parent who made me afraid of speaking my mind in whatever tone may come out, my angry tone, my sad, all of it. She didn't shame me. She made me feel helpless. So I got seen, I got soothed, I got safe and secure, and Maria's good. Cool. And then when I got scolded, I was like, I don't agree with you. And I got the right to speak up, which is also why as I got older, I should spank you more. Well, it's too late now. So when you're yourself your entire life, this is why kindness is what grows, because you don't lose the generous heart. It's not generous, it's just decent. But it's an open heart, which I have noticed there are people who don't have that. So when you want to have it, you come on over once you're ready to be your inner child adult here at IHP. If you want, you don't have to, but that's where I'm at and what I'm trying to share with your twin flame and just the journey. You have it if you do, and if you don't, it's okay. It's basically a very important bond, but believe me, it will be important only to the emotionally available human being, the one who is expanding, who's being their authentic self. And so whether you're missing or not, and I'm laughing right now because that's exactly what, when I'm just looking at these groups, I'm like, it's so cute. They're Elsa all over the place with their little mantles. Now they got to, for some it's I'm a mystic. For some it's I'm a twin flame. The 144 chosen one. So anytime I'm looking at spiritual bypassers, I'm thinking you're hilarious by the minute. You really don't know what you're doing at all. So that's because they don't own an integrated brain. They don't have an open brain. They don't have an open mind. They don't have an open heart. They are narrow states of consciousness. It's not funny to meet lack of intelligence. It's funny to play along like Pacha plays along with Cusco, and then to remember to be humble like God taught me, which is why I have my smart masculines always around me, and I like them. I like them. They're always going to be smart masculines. I can learn from smart feminines too, but I'm my own feminine, so I don't need the feminine. They don't add to my perspective because they're nurturer like me. That's a smart feminine, and they're forgiving and open-hearted. So really, I could say that the smart masculines, they are the ones who make me more. The distorted masculines and feminines, they make me more too because they consistently allow me the opportunity to continue being what is self-empowered, because self is empowered to be also pure consciousness by being what? Unconsciously loving. So your twin flame, it's a special connection. It's amazing. You looked at Patsy and say, wow, now that was fucked up. So there's some of these moments that now that I'm all the way through, when I look at all three of them, yeah, it's fucking amazing. And the fact is that I enjoy all of it, and I'm sharing it with you, and you're sharing it with me. And that's beautiful. You know what we're doing right now, which is even more amazing? You know what we're doing? What are we creating? We're creating a moment. You're here listening to me. I'm here talking to you. This is creating reality. Not silence and not stages and not people when they're, because the mystic here knows what that is. And that's why I always notice spiritual bypassers, they like to spend a lot of time in other places. Okay, so with that, expanding love from within you is the most amazing of gifts you'll ever have. You can only have that if you are your whole self, which people don't take seriously. So they play out their karma wheel and then they use words, and their 16-year-old spites their own self consistently by spiting all people, not believing in unconsciously loving God or universe or any of that. And, again, we have those two groups, human love and human suffering. So please just keep that one in mind. When you bring your inner child adult to life and infinitely expand the love from within you, then you'll know why restorative, embodied, self-aware, accountable, and regulation skills are so awesome to pursue through spiritual self-help, mindful living, and loving that involves daily mindful mindset and mindset practices. And you'll be here where I get to bring together spirituality, and the human elements. Now, there's the sciences, but it's about being yourself. So it's going to be personal development, and we explore human evolution and expanding consciousness, and we explore how the simplest of things can brighten up the day, and that our ability to love unconditionally with flaws and imperfections allows for every moment of life to be full of gratitude, bliss, abundance, and ever expanding love. When you can see how your life is the most amazing love affair alongside all your loved ones and humanity, that is when you're going to know one, how to be you, mindful, flawed, and with integrity, but you're also going to know, wait for it, that I, like you, am life, that I, like you, am love, that I, like you, am expanding consciousness, and that I, like you, am infinite higher human conscious potential. And that when there is a human being, there's an opportunity for kindness always, not just sometimes. And that love, like the Rumi quote, that was Seneca. Rumi, goodbyes are only for the ones who love with their eyes, because the ones who love with their heart and soul, there's no such thing as separation. And guess what happens to a divine feminine when they're around divine masculines? Because that part of the twin flame journey is true. Oh, they don't want their feminine. No, no, no. They're going to go and have a good time. Yeah. So, with that being said, divine feminine ain't going to ever look to the past. At least in my 44 years, I look back and I say, wow, I've become more of everything that I ever wanted to become. And may you all have fun in your Pinocchio Island, because it's not fun to have to think of that which I do know of what distortion does to those who don't take the will to heal seriously. It's the year 2024. Nobody needs to be broken. Nope. There's something sacred that you've been looking for. Any of you know what it is? Any of the regular listeners know what it is? It's called you, yourself. Show yourself. No, not that one. That one is the fourth step to recovery of trauma, which is why we got all these people on YouTube looking for bystanders to take their side and yell. Let's yell together. So if you tune into today's channeled guidance messages, you're going to hear how I explain to you the sad story of the people who don't know how to talk, don't know how to do life. They don't know how to process emotions. It's not because they can't. It's like the Zen master. He has a word for his emotions. Laundry. It's not laundry. When someone and you have shared the heart and you've bore your naked soul, okay, so you have, it's not about not being seen. You'll know when you're being unseen. So please do remember, an inner child adult is what you have in the forefront. I have been able to know what healthy self-worth means. The minute that I have shared with you something so significant and you have not even 1 second of decency, it's called common courtesy, decency. I know something's up, and it isn't none of my business, because be sure to realize what I share. I learned already as a kid what it means when people are not decent, because there's enough experiences in this world to know of unkindness. And that's why there's enough experiences in this world for you to keep choosing kindness. Not because you're going to get rewarded or you're going to say, I forgave. No, no, that's like a little pity party. It sounds like you're saying, hey, God, look how many stars I have. That's not what God meant by be humble and forgive. It's very clear if you know what it means to be pure, because it's not good or bad. It's, of course, I would love for people that have brought a specific level of emotional impact to me to see, but I don't need you to soothe me. I'm not doubting Maria, you see. I have flaws. This is normal. I have feelings. This is also normal. I have life. Normal. So I present to you all twin flames. It is a real phenomenon. It will not be impressive to the divine feminine, because the divine feminine is open-hearted. She's not broken-hearted. She gets the opportunity to choose to stay open-hearted. The divine masculine gets the opportunity to stop using the mind to create what is unnecessary suffering. And that is sad, because typically we know what happens with those masculines. Yes, even if they get humbled, they're still subject to being captured. And it's really unfortunate, those gender stereotypes, I have to say. But at the same time, I do believe very firmly, this is my teenage self, as my lovely teenage self said, when some people, you let him get away. I don't own a dog. I didn't let anyone get away. This is who I am. And if it's that easy for you to get dragged You're not mine, because you don't stand a chance when life's going to hit you. You just run away or get captured. Yes, that's very interesting. No, it's not. So, divine feminine here with common sense, what this is trying to spell out to you is twin flame, soulmate or not, a human being will not be standing, walking, talking if they don't own their sense of self. And when I was an adolescent, I saw it. And then I got to get older and I saw it. And my opinions didn't change as I got older. No, my opinions stayed the very same consistency. You either know who you are, and then you're going to be a person that I know is going to have finesse all of it. You're going to have, though, the power. You're going to be a true human being. The person who knows how easy it is to walk a walk and talk a talk. And why easy? Because again, I have a child-centric environment. I'm wondering the Zen master with his laundry bit, for example. I'm just like, the other people that look like they're badass, they are armored in shut. I can totally tell. The ones who are with their little mantles, they're small energy. They're a narrow state of consciousness. So you don't need a twin flame one to awaken you if you're divine feminine. Divine masculines and distorted feminines is how I'm going to put it to conclude. They awaken each other, and that's really because at this point it's a, you know, twin flame journey is an identity. So the people who are on that journey, I will not really think yes or no. I will know if they are truly a twin flame couple or not, and that will be based on the divine feminine of the couple, by the way. The divine masculine will only be able to say, yeah, she was right, I was wrong, not because of wanting to be right or wrong, no, but because the masculines are the ones who throw away the opportunity to expand, which is really something beautiful because it's basically you getting to be yourself. This is what the spirituality awakening journey. I know that they give you a lot of roles, not all, but let me simplify. If you're empowered, you know that you and I equally can make a difference, and we all have a voice, and we all can share it, and we all can empower with our voices and bring together. So that's the 5D collective. It's not a competition. We're not afraid of losing people. That's for people who have a lack mindset. They also have low self-esteem, which is why then they go around saying things like twin flames is a real phenomenon, because they see all these other people saying no, it's not. And then they see all these other people also doing the whole, yeah, you're not going to end up with your twin flame, you're going to end up with your divine counterpart. And I just laugh at all of that, because you don't end up with anyone really if they're not emotionally, mentally, physically available to their self, because they don't know what love is. They can't stick around. They are, again, captured left and right. It's really fun. You just get to watch people on Pinocchio's Island, by the way, from afar, though. Yeah, I join in every now and then. I just go grab a little drink. Then see you later. I'm going to go hang out with the intellectually pseudo intellectuals, also the not pseudo intellectuals. I'm just going to go hang out with intellectuals. They're also emotionally available. So we hang out with people and build communities of the smart ones. And then we have the capacity to tease the other ones. Because, again, remember, I found it hard to believe my first 2 years of life mean nothing. So they don't want to go get therapy. It's okay. It's not a competition. Hey, Patrick, I try to send them your way. They don't want. You know what people want? We're going to get into that in the next one, actually. I'm going to leave this one alone. So food for thought, twin flames, again, yes, it's a beautiful experience. And the parts of what you do here of not stages, it's clear. I will engage with you, you will engage with me. As any relationship, we will meet each other in the middle, and then we will be able to settle into what is a relationship of Pacha and Cusco, or Pacha and Pacha, or Pacha and the squirrel. So you see, that's why nothing changes for the divine feminine. They add to our life. And I have 3 of them. So they're all done. They've closed, complete circles. And the thing is that, let's just put it this way, when you get surprised, there's not any more surprises. Then you have soulmates. And as a divine feminine, I do now at this point have it pretty good. I know some things, I don't know all things, and I'm open to everything. And I know exactly where the smart therapists are and where the emotionally available men are. And they are definitely more amazing than ever. The 5D mystic, empowered men, yes. Because, I'm a mystic. So I can't be with the boring ones or the humbug ones. Yeah, the boring ones are the ones who are just so technical. They take away all the fun. I like to talk about my past lives, my present life, my future life. Also, this is one of the best lives for any of you who are 5D mystics. High five. Come on over, because I was telling that to one of my friends. She's a mystic too. I was like, you do realize that we're in one of the best lifetimes we've ever been in, right? You know what happened to us in the past, right? You remember? No, you don't. I do. I did. I have a lot of them. They were interesting. Yeah. So I'm pretty good. I know that and I know who my future is. And I also know why it's that straightforward. I also know why other is not a part of the future. Yeah, it's a long story though. We won't get to it right now. We'll wait some more years as our community of mystics build, because I don't want to bore people with too much of the mystic stuff. The ones who are not into it and that think that we are wackos. We're not wackos. But you may be right. I may be crazy. Right? But maybe you're looking for a lunatic. I'm not that type of lunatic, though. I'm a healthy, self worth one. So if you want to go breaking, nope, no breaking laws, nope. No doing any of this business with too much drinking, no drugs. Don't bring me any of that. That's bad. It's bad for you. I'm 44. I'm getting older, so that definitely is not cool. And I've met people who have holes in their skulls and noses. They know about it and they still have a hard time. It's really sad. Remember that friend of mine that I thought would be able to be helped? Yeah, pretty sure that he's not going to be back around. Unfortunately, he did something not positive, and he's in debt. And so when someone's in debt and they have no money and they are not being supported by anyone, it's sad. It's sad. So let's hope, pray that they find what they are looking for, all of them, all of the people that ignore the good therapist, because it's an entire family. Usually family is the only way a person can get better, but I think they don't believe in the updated therapy stuff. They just believe in Lucifer and demons and the old traditional therapists who don't know that it's not true. The apple falls far from the tree or near the tree, all that business. Yeah. They don't know of Dr. Daniel Fox. He shares how every personality disorder is healable, and others, Dr. Daniel Siegel, Basil Vanderkost, Janina Fisher. So the only ones who distort information are the ones who are on that with the superhero capes. So yes, when you see a superhero, they have a supervillain, and so they say, no, those personality disorders are not healable. Those people who want the spectrums, they're of that side. And remember, we do have these people playing that in and out. You ignore the part, get the good data, because they always will have some information that's interesting. And then remember, okay, who do I know that might be growing tired of hearing lies? Oh, I think I spotted a couple of, hey, Pinocchio, you want to come on over here? I have some other truth for you. This is water, though. It's not whatever Kool-Aid they've been giving you. Are you interested? I am here as a lover, not as a, yeah. So here's the deal. That's exactly the choice point. When you are presented a healthy self-worth person to a person who's emotionally unhealthy, they're not available. I'm not joking right now. My body and your body are going to come together. You'll like me if you want to be empowered. You won't like me if you don't, because that means you won't believe you can be empowered, and you will probably have also a lot of other subjective opinions about how people aren't able to be empowered. And well, again, I'm a divine feminine. There's always room for life, so I will not in any way, shape, or form ever be closed off to it, because I'm also, again, an empowered human being with Jesus, Holy Spirit, all of this. So whenever I meet someone, I'm in my prefrontal cortex. I don't have low self-esteem, not even a little bit. I have no shame button. You can press it all you want, and it has been pressed enough. So I got gifted my rainbow heart back, and it's even better than before. And I knew that it would be given back to me at some point. I just didn't know how it would be given. And when I got it, I was like, wow. And when I found out how many lives I've had with this person, I was like, that makes a lot of sense, and why they came to be. See, this is a divine feminine. We don't have questions. We have stories for you. So 5D mystics, come on over, have fun. And again, be honored that your oversoul is the best thing that could ever happen to divine feminine. Because when we look to the past, we say, I thank you so much for having me reconfirm what I chose at my first confirmation. Yes, Jesus, I will forgive and I will love. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for being here. And I'm so sad to see those people use you in different ways and not know that Reiki is just as equally of a love energy. Energy is not owned. And when people don't know how to allow themselves to bring science and spirituality together, they're closed-minded. They don't know, and they're not spiritual. If they were, they'd understand what I just said. And when they're refusing it and refuting it and choosing one or the other, a spiritual person will leave it alone. Quantum physics, yes. Go the scientific route. That is very well welcomed, because they are all leading you to your very inner well-being. When you learn from people like Patrick Tiahan, when you learn from people like Bezel van der Kolk, when you learn from people like Dr. Daniel Siegel, Dr. Daniel Fox, all of them, Janina Fisher, and here, Sadhguru. We'll close with this. Every human being, as he says, deserves to be peaceful while alive, not just rest in peace. Let us make it happen. Yes, when you are a restorative embodiment, self aware, accountable, regulating person, you'll know how peaceful it is because of integration of the brain. He doesn't know the psych education, but he doesn't need to. He's a guru. He's not the psych educators. Dr. Daniel Siegel knows about how to explain to you really well, and then train therapists. And again, this is very possible. I'm here, you can be here. Healing trauma is the desire of the person. And as Dr. Daniel Fox presents, it is never you fail. Some people give up too soon, he says, and then others don't get into the right, therapist room, but it's not failing. You can always be on a journey, and that's why it is important. And you want to be there until you are securely attached and you can be seen by you. And that's why, for me, being unseen and unsoothed and I'm never unsafe or secure to be Maria. You unseeing me and unsoothing me simply means your amygdala has no interest in Maria's thoughts or emotions or voice. It means you don't want a relationship with me from the heart. So you love with eyes, which is why you say goodbye. I don't, which is why I won't say goodbye. But I will accept, respect, and love you in the very way that you will want me to. So if you create distance, I will not be seeking to create closeness. I will be recalibrating so that I may respect that which you want out of a relationship. It's not a stage. It's an actual mindful listening, awareness, accountability, and then respecting those who own their own body and mind. Whether they are in charge of their destiny or not, they will say that they are in charge of it. That's the 0 8-year-old of karma, and they get to do their little wheel. And that's also why Divine Feminine is very happy to be far, far, far away, so that we don't have to watch which could have become something amazing, because people can all become something amazing when they own the mind and the body and the heart of them. So as a healthy self-worth person, you become amazing because you become your true self, versus the distorted, maladaptive, or adaptive child pattern of behavior, which is human suffering, love narrative, low self-esteem, indirect communication, passive-aggressive. They don't know healthy boundaries are, conversations and interactions, and that relationships can always be built. There's never a relationship that I personally had to end. The ones who wanted to end it with me, I respect that. That's what I'm saying. You respect people who don't want to speak. You respect people who don't want to be involved. You respect knowing that not everyone has interests in you. It's not a solo, my world revolves around me world. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is why, by itself, life, it's really simple and reality, and it's only ignorance. People who are ignorant of themselves, they make it complex. Twin flames, it's really fun because you'll know that you're getting to expand. As for them, they get to keep doing what is the life that they want. And my way of saying this is because I try to respect all people's choices. And that's one of those aspects that others have not learned to come to terms with, which is why when you hear 40 saying that the divine masculines, they resist personal development, we don't need all these words. You choose unfaced fears, call it not fear. You choose to keep doing human suffering love. So I don't even need to bring in that you're resisting personal development, because you're going to be succeeding and you're going to be building a life like I see those Pinocchios on that island doing. So from afar, with all of the humbleness, open-heartedness, and again, visibility of a grounded human being who's an inner child adult, you live in a great life. Yeah, you're doing awesome. And that's when you notice, as they again become a pattern, you're like, it's good I'm over here, because I'm losing by the minute interest in engaging. And I already have people that I have in my circle that I get to engage that way. So the lack of intelligence will be visible mentally, emotionally, and physically, because they don't become anything except for, well, it depends where they stop. So this is in general, not just the divine masculines of a twin flame stuff. But what I was trying to get to is they make up a lot of words. It's simple. You choose love, you choose yourself, because you choose to treat another person decently, but you also treat yourself decently. This is something called emotional availability, mental availability, and physical. So if you have a person, you don't need to be concerned with any of stages. If you have a person who has stages, they don't know how to do relationships like a functional adult slash inner child adult. So they're not having fun. They're not loving. Okay, it's hard work. Remember those people say it's hard work to keep a relationship. Those are people who don't have healthy self-worth. Their 0 1 year old isn't independent. I'm coming to you as an independent 0 1 year old, an independent 3 year old. I'm a differentiated self. And that's why things scare us. But that's why, again, the twin flame won't scare you. You'll be surprised, you'll be amazed, you'll be happy, and then you'll be disappointed eventually. And then you'll say, that's not fair. I should not be disappointed. It's disappointed my expectations, but they're happy, which makes me happy for them. And you leave it alone. And that's about it. Oh, and you don't reject anyone that is a part of your oversoul, because again, that would be you rejecting yourself. And when you are disappointed with yourself, you say, well, how would I speak to myself? Well, I would say I'm flawed and perfect, and so I'm going to keep learning. And that's how it works. See, it's a song that never ends, and it goes on, my friends. Expansion of consciousness. So welcome aboard, all of those of you who tuned in, and we'll be back later with another episode. Have a great day.